Welcome back to season 31 of 7-Eleven Junior Hockey Magazine. I'm your host, Gino Reda. Time now for the CJHL Report. The Canadian Junior Hockey League brings together 115 teams from the 9 Junior A leagues involving over 2,500 players from right across the country. Join us now is Vince Bellimisso, the head coach of the Ontario Junior Hockey League's Toronto Junior Canadiens. Vince, welcome to the show. Great to have you with us.
Thanks for having me on, Gino.
I grew up in the Toronto area, so I know the Toronto Junior Canadiens organization quite well. So many prominent NHLers have gone through this organization to make it into the NHL, right from entry level at Adam and Pee Wee and right through now in the CJHL. How significant was it for you to become a part of this overall organization when you first started with them?
Yeah, it was a great opportunity for myself, having coached in the OJHL 1 year with the Aurora Tigers. Moving on from there, the Toronto Junior Canadiens organization is obviously a storied franchise. It's been around a long time and have produced a lot of good players and coaches. So I did have some friends in the organization who I was familiar with, and made it a smooth transition and pretty comfortable to come over here. And we've got a great staff here, 6, 7, 8 guys deep that work closely every single day, and we've got good continuity within the staff. And from a junior perspective, we're able to translate on the ice in terms of developing players and having some success as well.
You guys got the third best record right now in the entire OJHL. What's the season been like for you? Like, how do you have that kind of success in the midst of all that's going around with the pandemic, with games being on and off, what you can and can't do with players and fans and no fans? What's it been like trying to navigate through all that for you?
Yeah, so there's no question. I don't think anybody's going to argue that the pandemic was good for the kids. So having to start up and shut down and start up and shut down obviously took a toll on these guys. And coming into the year, credit to the players. These guys were ready to go right from day one. We did have a bit of a setback with the month off here in the last couple of months, but the guys are ready to go. From a junior hockey perspective, we were a little bit raw at the beginning with technically only one returning player due to the year missed last year, but the guys are ready to go. They got bought in immediately. We've got a real tight group of players, a lot of good people and kids into the program, and the development has been quite vast and huge, and it's been fun to be a part of from a coaching perspective, just watching these guys improve every day in practice. And again, having some success on the ice has helped, and it's a positive environment. The kids come to the rink every day. They want to work hard. They want to have fun, and we're seeing some success on the ice. So it's been pretty rewarding.
In conversation with Toronto Junior Canadiens head coach Vince Bellimisso, you actually had quite the playing career of your own. You spent time in the OJHL, both with Caledon and, speaking of storied organizations, the St. Michael's Buzzers, before heading to play U.S. college at Western Michigan. You were also drafted in the 5th round in the NHL by Florida. How much has all that vast experience from you as a player been able to translate to you communicating the message you're trying to communicate to these kids, as some of them are trying to follow in your path?
Yeah, it's been huge from that perspective. I had a lot of experiences as a player, good and bad. And some of the things I did really well, I'm able to communicate with that stuff on players and help them grow and improve certain parts of their game. And some of the areas I went wrong in as a player are as you get older, you start to learn in life certain things where you went wrong and things you could have improved on. And I'm able to communicate that, that side of things to the players as well. So as a coach, you're learning and trying to get better every day, no different than being a player. And part of that is communicating certain experiences you've had in the past along to the players. And there's been no shortage of help on that side of things with having those experiences as a head coach.
Speaking of experiences, you spent a number of years playing pro hockey in both North America and Europe, helping Asiago win the Italian League Championship in 2010. How did that come about, and what was that experience like playing hockey over in Europe?
Yeah, so I played 6 years pro. That experience with Asiago was in the 5th season. My brother was their starting goalie for 3 or 4 years at that point. And I was in the German league at the time, and we weren't quite a contender that year in the German league. And the Italian team reached out at the transfer period, and being able to go over and play with my brother and win a championship in Italy was a great experience. You know, you can find online some of the pictures and some of the videos of that experience in those championship games in the semifinal and final round. It was something that I'll never forget. And yeah, it was great. So again, I played 6 years pro, a little cup of coffee in Italy, which was
A little espresso.
one of my greatest memories in winning a championship, or my greatest memory was winning a championship with my brother.
That must have been a great experience. I want to ask you about one player in particular you coached, because you've coached a lot of guys, and I want to get his name right. So correct me if I'm wrong. Ryan Teverberg, is that right?
Ryan Teverberg, correct.
Teverberg, yeah. He was drafted by the Leafs in 2020. He's having a great sophomore season now at the University of Connecticut Huskies. What's it like to see Ryan and other guys you've coached making it to the next level?
Oh, it's fantastic. I mean, I've been coaching for about 10 years now, Gino. There's been a number of players come through my programs. Ryan absolutely being one of the higher end guys. Coming in here into this very dressing room junior Canadiens program, he was a first year player out of midget. He was a top midget player, but not specifically highly touted in terms of NHL or even NCAA stuff at that time. And he was able to use our program as a kind of a stepping stone and in his development. And we saw him in the World Junior Camp here in the last year or so. He's tearing it up in the NCAA. He was drafted by the Toronto Maple Leafs, right out of our program here at Scotia Pond. So that was our third year in a row with the JRC having an NHL pick, and we're very proud of that. And we're looking forward to continued success in that department as well.
Vince, it's been a great time chatting with you, to see the progression you made from player to coach, and now transferring some of your skill set to players of the next generation. We thank you for this. Congratulations. Good luck, and we'll talk again down the road.
Thanks a lot, Gino. Appreciate it.
That was Toronto Junior Canadiens head coach Vince Bellimisso. And that wraps up this week's CJHL Report. The Canadian Junior Hockey League, your future is here. Still inside 7-Eleven Junior Hockey Magazine, he skated on a line with Steven Stamkos on the Sarnia Sting during his junior hockey career. And now he's playing for the New York Islanders. We'll check in with Matt Martin in this week's edition of Where Are They Now? You're listening to Canada's only nationally syndicated junior hockey radio show, season 31 of 7-Eleven Junior Hockey Magazine. And don't forget, you can listen and subscribe to the complete podcast by checking out any of your favorite podcast platforms.